Alright, a very warm welcome back everyone. Today I want to build another template, but not for mixing or recording or production, but in this case for mastering. Cubase already has a mastering template prepared. This is a stereo mastering template and you can of course use this one, but it does not allow for mid-side processing. So in this video we are going to build a mid-side processing template, of course, and for this purpose I've loaded up, or I've created another project with the template that you already probably know from the mixing session, and I just deleted some of the tracks so that we can use this template all together. So we basically only have the master track, the master group, and then we have the marker track and an arranger track as well, so you can easily adapt this template for mastering albums, for example. So in this case I've loaded up a project of mine. We are going to call this pre-master in this case, and I also want to root this on a group track. In this case I need a stereo group track, and I'm going to call this aggregation. And the reason for this is, if I by accident delete this pre-master track, I still have the aggregation group which I can root to, and I do not miss anything of the routing that we are going to do later on. So this is basically the aggregation track from where we then take the signals and route this out to otherwhere. The problem with this template is that we can only do this in Cubase Pro because we need panorama sense, and therefore if you do not use Cubase Pro you probably cannot use this template or set this template up. So next we need group tracks, in this case 8 of them, and we need eight mono group tracks. And the reason for this is because we will split our signal in mono signals and then use these mono signals for ourselves. So we are going to name those. In this case we need the left channel, we need the right channel, we need minus right, we need the mids, the sides, minus side, and then we need left out and right out. All right. So, and these are basically all of these tracks that we are going to use, and I'm going to move into the mixing window now so we can do everything here. The first thing that you probably want to do is put a limiter on your master bus. In this case, set this to -1 decibels. And the reason for this is because in mastering you often use a limiter, or you probably will always use a limiter afterwards. So it makes sense to use to put this limiter in the template itself. So what we are going to do now is basically route everything that is not related to the pre-master or the left out and right out channels to no bus. So we can basically just use our sense for these groups, right? So, and what the first thing that we're going to do is take the left signal and the right signal from the aggregation group and route this out to the left and right channels. And for this, I'm going to open the channel settings here, and I'm going to destinations, send to left, send to right, and send to minus right. And this minus right thing we are going to talk about in a second. Just activate those, go to the panorama tab and pan them left and right. So basically just the left part or the right part of the signal is going to be routed to these groups here, right? So the minus right and the minus side channel here are basically just used to implement formulas that we are going to find for the mid and for creating the mid and the side channels. And sometimes we need the minus right and the minus left channels, and therefore we have them prepared. They are not working as of right now because they are just the right channel or the side channel, and we have to switch the phase in order for them to work. So what this basically does is, if you now add the right channel and the minus right channel, you would get 0. So you would not hear anything if you're just talking about the right part of your song. And this is then one of the reasons how we can route to the mid and the side signals, right? So now we have the left, the right, minus right. Mid signals are calculated if you take the left channel plus the right channel, and side signals are calculated if you take the left channel minus the right channel, or plus minus the right channel, right? So in order to prepare these sends, we just have to send the left and the right channel to mids, and send the left channel and the minus right channel to the side. And also for the side channel, we can also send to minus side, just to switch the signal right there then. And now the only thing I have to do is mark those tracks and activate those, of course, and activate this as well. But the problem we have now is if we play the signal back right now like this, we will probably start clipping when we put everything together. So what we are going to do is lower the volume for these cents to -6 decibels. -6 because -6 is half of the volume that you're going to hear. If you do the math for all of this, you will then find out that if you lower everything by half, it comes out as left and right all together and not as 2 times left or 2 times right. But you can do the math yourself if you want to. Now we're going to take care of the left out and right out channels, because mids and sides are now implemented correctly. But now we want to have the signal routed back to the left out and right out channels, right? So the left out channel can be calculated if you take the mid signal plus the side signal. And the right out channel can be calculated if you take the mid signal minus the side signal. And if you plug everything in your formulas, you should come up with this. I'm not going to do this right now, just preparing the sense here. So mid signal plus side signal will be the left out channel, and mid signal minus side signal will be the right channel. And if I'm activating all of those now, I do not have to take care of the volume, because we already have this reduced here. And what I'm doing now is just pan the left channel and the right channel to left and right, because otherwise we'll have everything in center, and it certainly will still be mono. So what if we have now done everything correctly? We should be having our tracks left and right. If I'm soloing them, we should hear everything that is present in our track. And we should also be able to do this when we are talking about routing the pre-master. So just muting this and routing the pre-master to not aggregation, but to the master here. And you can hear that we hear the same thing. So basically the routing worked. We now have to put this to aggregation. What we can now do is basically just listen to the mids and the sides separately. So if I'm just taking the mids here, you hear the mid signal, of course. And if I'm just taking the sides, you hear the side signal, which is intentionally always quieter than the mids would be. So this is just to verify that everything worked correctly. Now we have a lot of tracks that are not really used, you know. And in order to get this worked out, we just will remove every single, not remove, but make every other track invisible. So we do not have to take care of those. I'm going to leave left out and right out open for just a second. And we'll talk about this in a few seconds. Just remove those. And now I want these two tracks routed to another stereo group, so I can basically have my signal all together if I want this. I could also use this left out and right out for managing for mixing or mastering on the left and on the right channel, but in this case I'm going to put them on a group as well. So group track, in this case not mono but stereo, and I'm going to call this full arrangement, or maybe leave out a full in this case. And now we should have an arrangement track. If I'm soloing this, I should still be able to hear both of my channels. And if we look in the mixing window, you see that the volumes for each of this channel differ, so everything worked. Now let's remove the solo here and put those out as well. Now let's create another folder track. I'm calling this mid side, and you probably have already guessed it, the mid and side signals are going to be there. Now we have the aggregation track, and we also have the arrangement track. And if I'm now moving back into my mixing console, I want to hide all of these other tracks here as well. So get rid of all of these. And the mids and sides are present here. So just right click and then remove them. You can also do this in this agent here. So just clicking on this little check mark there. And now I just want to order them so that everything is neat and tidy. So go to zones, then go to my mid and side channel. I do not want my microphone here, but I do want the pre-master on the left side. I want the mids and sides in the middle. I also want the aggregation on the left side, and then I want the arrangement on the right side. And you can see here that something has gone wrong because I always want the master channel to be right. So what I have to do is put this arrangement in here and before the master channel, so everything should be like this. So now we have a pretty sparse setup of everything. We are routing the pre-master to the aggregation. You can essentially also apply some sort of pre-processing here as well if you want. You can also do the processing on the aggregation tab, and then you have the mids and the sides as well as the arrangement track. So in total, you should have 80 different inserts if you want, but you probably don't need any. You don't need 80 of these inserts, right? So the only problem that we have now is, of course, we want to close everything. But the only problem that we have now is that this track here will always be present when you load this template. And in order to fix this, we cannot just delete it because then it will still remain in the pool window. So to fix this, we go to media and then pool, open pool window, and you see here that we still have the file here. We do not want this, so I'm just removing this, right? So I'm just right clicking. Well, just mark this and hit Del on your keyboard, and then you want to delete this and not put this in the trash can, right? So this is so basically like this. You have a clean setup. You can import your mastering or your files you want to master on the pre-master track. And if you by accident delete this one, you just have to route to the aggregation tab or to the aggregation group, and everything should be still working. And then you can use this template for further mastering, and also apply or use this template in order to build other templates that also can make use of different tracks, for example. And this is one of the reasons why we still have the arranger track here. Now we are going to file, save as template, and then you probably can just put in the information here. Maybe go for something like blueprint for stereo with side mastering, and then maybe put also a hint in there how you can use this one, just to be sure that you still know what to do if you open this template much later. And then you can find this always in the hub. When you are going to the mastering section, you find your stereo MS mastering here. All right, and you see I already prepared some other ones. You can do so as well. It shouldn't be that difficult. And in any case, I'm going to see you in the next one. And if you want to listen to all of these tracks, again, feel free to check the links in the description, and you'll be taken to where you can listen to those.